Look at this. Look at that. I'm starting with this smile today. Welcome to Paxton Road TV, the reaction show for the game you've just witnessed. Manchester Well, I was going to say Manchester United. I don't even care who it is. No, Manchester City.
Let's just smile.
Tottenham Hotspur. The score, Manchester City 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3, and the man of the moment, basically, you might as well say Manchester City 2. Kane, you can have every plaudit you want today. Kane 3. I'm going to give Kane everything today. Woo! That's the old Ric Flair saying.
Sam, we've just got breaking news, apparently. They've said that Storm Eunice has gone and they've got a hurricane in Manchester.
Well done, Sid. Well done, Sid. Well done, Sid. Well done, Sid. You've done it well. You started off the show. Well, now, let's get back to some degree of professionalism on the show. Welcome to Paxton Road TV. This is your match reaction for the game. Manchester City 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3, and we are joined live in the house. Hotspur Hustler, Sid Spurs, and from overseas, Mari Spurs channel. Get your glasses, get your bottles. I've got some Magnum here. Very nice, very nice. Gunner King, I know you was waiting. I know you was waiting. Probably going to be watching this a little bit later on. I know you was waiting.
We're all waiting. All of them.
Mr. Silver Fox, Gunner King, Canners, Gums, or whatever you call yourselves on that other channel over there. Come on then, give us some. All right then, you thought you're 6 points above us. Well, you're not. Let's start the show. Mike, talk to me about the game.
Well, I see that there's a certain name in the comments there. Juice Nuts, and yesterday Juice Nuts thought. Well, he asked me why am I so positive?
Yes.
And today, to this evening, you've got to be positive when you've got the Son and Kane playing for you. They were lethal today. Like the connection, the first goal. I mean, one touch from Kane, clips it through. Son runs on, clips it through to Kulu, nutmegs the centre back or whoever it was. I don't even care who it was, to be fair. It just went hit the back of the net. I thought. I mean, going to City is going to be, it's always difficult, isn't it? And I mean, I was hoping, and when I say about being positive and stuff, I was hoping we'd get a point. That's what I was thinking. I was like, given everything that's happened in the last few days, last few weeks, where Spurs have lost 3 games on the trot, the fact that we are Man City's bogey team, I just thought it wouldn't surprise me if Spurs turn up today and get a positive result. And that's what I said yesterday on our Sid. And Tottenham, although we didn't have much possession, we were clinical, absolutely clinical. I mean, Sid, did you say we had 6 shots and 3 of them?
Oh, Mike, those
6
shots. I've got
shots.
the stats
6
to come
shots,
later.
5 on target
The stats
and
will
3
be there.
goals.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
You'll see those.
Yeah,
6 shots, we scored 50% of it. I mean,
absolutely.
And the Man City, they always look prone to that through ball, don't they? Like whenever Kane had the ball and he's hit it first time, he knows where Son is, and the amount of space that when he did have time to take the ball under control and ping it across, the amount of space that Royal had was ridiculous, really. But yeah, I thought we defended very well. Højbjerg coming in, I thought he played well. Dyer was probably the biggest difference, I think, for us defensively today. Him coming back in, him and Romero defensively, I thought were very, very good. And I don't really care what else. We've got 3 points. Like, who's going to get what? I just don't give a shit, to be fair. We've got 3 points. I'm taking it. 3 points. Even if we only had 5% of possession, I could not care. We got the points on the board. That's all that matters. We got Burnley on Tuesday. I just hope now we continue this. Like, there's no point in beating Man City if we don't go to Burnley and pick up a positive result there. So what I would like to see now is Spurs just kick on. Forget the last 3 games that we've played. Beat Man City. Let's go to Burnley. Let's pick up points there, and then let's see where this can go. I mean, yeah, this should give them a massive boost as well. I mean, we've taken 6 points off Man City. It's not taking 6 points off Man City ain't for everyone, is it? Let's be honest. It ain't for everyone.
It's not for
but we've taken 6 points off of them, and yeah.
Beating Man City home away is not for everyone. It's certainly not for everyone.
Some teams get battered 5-0. I mean, it just happens, doesn't it?
Oh dear me, Sid, I'm going to come to you next. Sid, it might have been a crime that you committed last week when you gave your tickets to somebody else to go to that Wolves game, but I think it was probably all worth it. It's definitely all worth it, because now we're here all together celebrating a victory which, as I said, up until this morning when I did the lineup show, I was like thinking to myself, you know what? There's a possibility the performance is good, doesn't matter about the result. And that's all I was really just looking for, because, you know, obviously with the results that we've had, it wasn't looking good. We hadn't won at the Etihad for, well, certainly in the last 5 games. We did the preview show. We looked at the results, and I was saying to Mari yesterday, we might be their bogey team at home, but not away. Anyway, forget about all that. Sid, talk to me about the game from your perspective. We was all over that WhatsApp group like crazy. But, what's your thoughts?
Listen. Honestly, for all my fans there, the ones always watching, you're not going to get 1, you're not going to get 2, but you're going to get 3. Are you ready? First one. Blue moon, Kane left you standing alone without a thought in your head.
Oh, dear me.
Second one. Kane's just knocked on the door. I'm the one that you want. I am the one. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And the third and final one. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I can score you goals. I can get you assists. Anyway, right.
Imagine Sid on the old juice.
Oh my God. I wouldn't like to think. I'm glad
Sid doesn't drink.
I am glad Sid doesn't drink. Anyway, now you finish your renditions.
Anyway, right.
Now you finish your renditions. Talk to me about the game.
Do you know what? I thought when we saw that team, Dyer at the back, massive, right? Him and Romero, you can just tell the partnership they've got, the trust they've got. Them two together, and it brings everyone else. Højbjerg, even Emerson, even Davis, Session, all of them together. They were solid. Bentancur for me, first start of the season, he lost the ball a few times, but again, when he was on the ball, he did what he had to do. He was there defending. I think everybody was defending, but you've got to give it to Harry Kane. What a performance! Like I said to you before, forget Storm Eunice, mate. That was a hurricane happening in Manchester today, because he you know what? We were talking about this yesterday, Mike and Sam. Remember, we were saying, can he go into that number 10 position to deliver the passes and whatever? His vision, the moment he gets that ball, every ball he put through, whether it was to Kulu, to Son,
they couldn't handle it.
He couldn't handle it, and his strength on the ball, everything. And today, what a performance. He blew that performance out of the world, but as a team performance, we rocked a little bit, but you could tell, you know what? Conte got it spot on. And I think, did I say to you yesterday, Michael, was it to you, Sam? Just go out there and put a performance for the fans, for Tottenham, and for yourselves. They must have listened to me, because they've done that.
Everybody wanted the performances. That was, like I said, I think if you're a betting man, you wouldn't have bet on Spurs to win, because of that, away from home, the form we were in. But I would have put a bet on that we would have performed today, at least, made the effort. You got to legislate for mistakes as well in there, and obviously the mistakes, the handball, the Lloris thing, you can kind of take that on the chin if you know that the players are then going to say, okay, wipe that out of our system and go and try, and that's exactly what they did. Lloris's mistake for them to let the equaliser in, it's like it was terrible, but it didn't let them affect it, because I've seen us almost fold in that situation. We didn't do that today. So there was a clear plan. What I'd seen from Kane today, he played 2 positions. He started off in the 9, but they didn't know that he was going to drop into the 10, because they keep thinking, he's going to play 9, he's going to try and stretch us. But he was doing both things. He was stretching them, but he was also dropping into that 10. Really confusing, because if you think about City, they basically just play with 2 centre-backs. That's it. Everybody else is up front. So Kane had them on toast, because they didn't know whether to stay with him or try and think he's going to play on the shoulder. Absolutely awesome performance, because when you can hold the ball up like he did, you couldn't get the ball off him. So, again,
that's a sign. But that's a sign of a world-class player, isn't it?
Of course it is.
First of all, before the ball's even coming into him for the first goal, he already knows two things. He knows where Son is and where Son's going to run, but he also knows where he's going to put that ball, and he knows it before the ball's even coming into him. Not many people can do that, especially strikers dropping in and pinging that ball through like he does. There is no striker that can do that in my eyes.
But you know what?
He's
that
different
Lloris,
when he's on foot.
what you were saying, Sam, about Lloris making that mistake, you've got to give him plaudits for that save from Gundogan as well.
He cancelled that mistake out. Once he made that save, that cancelled, because would they have gone ahead 2-1 in that instance?
No, that would have been 2-2. It would have been 2-2.
You sure?
Yeah, it was just before the penalty. Yeah, we was 2-1 up.
Sorry, apologise. It would have been, cool.
Yeah.
And that, again,
I thought it was
to go up twice, that would have been not nice. But that he definitely equalised what the mistake. And after that, it was just keeping our heads. Mari, talk to me about the performance from your perspective. As I said, Harry Kane, we've talked about him before. Does he turn up for the really big games? Has he turned up in the finals or semi-finals? I think that today is as good a performance as I've seen him in a Spurs shirt. And not just because of the way that he brought all the others in, but because he looked like he wanted to win more than anybody else on the pitch.
Yes.
Anybody else. And the fact he's obviously been courted with going to City, he's looking like, is this a team for me long term? Do I want to move on? Blah, 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 blah. He looked like he wanted it more than anybody else. And that is only going to be good for us going forward. And we got the results. So, Mari, talk to me about the game today.
I got to start with Kane. He gave the world, he gave all of Europe a warning shot. And I'm back. I'm here. You guys forgot about me, right? I am world class. And you saw it today with the hold-up play, the passing. It was just, he was passing better than Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, he was passing it better than De Bruyne. He was amazing today, and he deserves all the accolades today. But I want to bring up just, because we were very critical of the transfer market. We got rid of 4 players. Well, I still believe in Hill, and I've seen some of his games of his intelligence. We got rid of those guys, Lo Celso and Tanguy, and we brought in 2 intelligent players in Bentancur. And I know he had some pass, but he was everywhere. He was everywhere. Trust me, Bentancur was good today. And Kulu, very intelligent players. Kulu, he held the ball when he needed to. He was great on the flank. His passing, it was just the clinical play that we needed. And I said this last night on the stream. I would rather Lucas come from the bench and be a super sub, because Bergwijn and Kulu, for me, they pass better.
Yep.
And we saw it today. We saw 2 intelligent players come in. Romero, bar the handball, this guy is a beast.
Levels.
Yeah. If we can get
he is
2 guys that can on the right and on the left, or to end up playing the right, either way, you can see that this guy, his anticipation is amazing, and he's most of the time correct in intercepting a pass or making an attack. And disregard the handball, was unlucky, but he was a beast today. And this win, like I said yesterday, I said in a previous stream, let's not get excited about top 4. Let's take it
One game at a time.
Game by game. We got Burnley, and that's it. Let's focus on Burnley, and let's focus on Leeds. Let's not jump to conclusion. Enjoy this win. Use this win as a motivating factor, and we'll take it one game at a time. But other than that, I am buzzing.
And the thing is,
this victory is, and I think this victory is going to unite the fan base, because of the recent news and all the drama. Conte stopped it right then and there, and he told those guys to fight. And last night we were saying, all I want to see this team is to fight.
Yeah, 100%.
And you know what? They won, and they fought, and they won. And I'm satisfied.
The thing is, like I said, it was about the performance today. Give big props up to Kulu. The difference between Kulu and, I guess, if you started someone like Moore, is we saw it. Kulu his effort levels were there as what Lucas's would be, but his hold-up play. The difference between that is when you're trying to break out in a counter-attack, and someone has got the ability to hold the ball up, like what Kane was doing and like what Kula was doing, it brings the other players in so you can counter-attack. If it was at Mora, 9 times out of 10, maybe less than that, it's bouncing off him and the attacks break down. So even if he's receiving it and turning, we can't then, and like I said, when you're playing against City, you're not going to have that much of the ball. So you have to make the best of it. So the way that he set up, there was a massive plan. A narrow midfield 4. Pretty much, everybody came in. They were playing a 5-4-1. Kane at times was just playing as a solo man. Everybody was in field because City played with their fullbacks in field. So obviously Conte's worked out everything. City don't play any differently. So I expect them to know exactly what they're going to do. That's the good thing about playing City. They don't do anything different. You might play another team like a Wolves or a Southampton, and they might change their tactics to suit how they play us. City don't do that. So as a blueprint, as long as you get it right with the players and the personnel and the quality, you can get at City, as we proved today. But you need a bit of luck. You also need a little bit of things to go your way. I thought when the offside goal was I was thinking, oh my God, this is going to be one of them games, and City will have 7 minutes to come back at us. To then score again. Come on, lads. Come on, lads. It shows there's no excuse for these players now. This is the point now. There's no excuse. We've done a double over City. Let that sink in. After 3 losses on the trot, and everybody thinking we're going to get smashed here. Not everybody on the stream, because Mike and Sid yesterday were talking up a good game, so that's positive. But the majority of Spurs fans weren't looking at us to win this game. A draw would have been a great result. So let's have fun.
Can I hold my hand up, guys? I did say we weren't going to win this game. If you remember on the...
I remember, mate, but I haven't said anything.
Yeah, I did say...
That's why I'm just smiling today.
Yeah, and
Positivity,
I did say
boys.
we was going to get battered. But hey, you know what? They proved me wrong. But I did say, give us fight for the shirt, fight for a performance. And they did that. So I hold my hand up. Yeah, fair play.
I'm just going to get this up on the feed in a minute because, like I said, it really is. Football is... The old cliche, it's a funny old game. Because it is a funny old game. It really is.
It's a tough ask when for us to need a result after three losses on the trot. You're not expecting it against Man City.
No.
You could argue that it's a tough ask to bounce back from 3 defeats. But and I say this, it's just typical for Spurs to do this. It's typical for Spurs to do the sort of, not the unthinkable, because Man City aren't unbeatable. I mean, we've just proved it twice this season. Yeah, exactly. But it's just one of the, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but it doesn't surprise me at all that we turned up and actually ground out a good victory. I still think the penalty was harsh. I mean, I know it is a penalty, it is what it is, but I just had this feeling I don't know. It's just
you can accept. Like I said, penalties like that happen. I think it is harsh because when you're going in, he literally dived in. He had to put his hands up there because that's what you do when you dive in.
Yeah.
But the fact he was showing that desire late in the game, you have to give it to him because that could have easily been a goal from them from on that side if he didn't make that. Now, because they got a penalty, it's one of them things. But what Conte's always said is, never give up. Don't give up. And the players have shown that in 2 games now, the Leicester City one and obviously today. Because they could have easily gone, oh, bloody hell, 2-2 now, 7 minutes to go. The pressure was really, really ramping up. And then what happens? You see Sanchez coming. And I'm scratching my head thinking, Jesus Christ.
Hey, listen. That interception he done a really... You got to give it to him.
And that's what I was saying to myself. I have to give it. He was playing on the left-hand side. I was thinking, this is a nightmare waiting to happen. But he did what he had to do. So let's just go through the stats. Obviously, the score, 2-3. Gundogan and Mahrez for City after 33 minutes was Gundogan. Mahrez 90 plus 2 minutes on the penalty. Kulusevski after 4 minutes in Kane with his brace 59 and 90 plus 5. 72% possession to 28. 21 shots to our 6. 4 shots on target to City, 5 shots on target to us. There you go, gentlemen. That's what we need to have. It shows that they were having pot shots, but they weren't really effective. We literally no, I wouldn't say out. Well, we did outscore them. We outscored them.
Yeah.
We outscored them on the shots.
Outshot them.
Outshot them. I like that one. See, outshot them.
That just goes to show how clinical. Like it is down to the fact that we probably have the most lethal when they're on form. We probably have the most lethal sort of strike partnership or forward line in the Premier League. You can't. I think it's hard to argue that, isn't it? Who's a better forward line than Son and Kane? There isn't one.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
So
if you look at the ones who are chasing that top four, Mike, apart from Man United, who have got strikers, but they're aging strikers. You've got CR37 and Cavani, who's like 42 or something like that. I don't know how old he is. So so we've got the prime partnership, obviously from last year, the way that they played. If they can find that form, which they look like they did today, we have got goals in us. Now, if we can defend like this and we can get skipped back and we can bolster up that midfield, then you've got a solid base to work from. We will always score goals if these two are playing like how they did today. And then you can bring in the likes of Lucas as an impact. You can bring in the likes of a Bergie as an impact. But you have to have a spine. I think if you get the spine right, we've got a good opportunity here. So,
can you imagine when Conte gets his ideal defense? What this is going to do to the offense? It's going to be a well-oiled machine. Yeah. If you ever seen Inter when Conte coached them, and even the remnants right now, it's a well-oiled machine, and they score goals. So I can only imagine when he gets the wing backs that he wants.
Yeah. This is the thing. We just got to be patient. Like he's mentioned it in every interview almost. Just need time. Just need patience. And I get like we as fans sometimes we're not the most patient bunch, but we have good reason not to be. But the talk of like Conte wanting to leave, you saw him in the interview where he was sort of pissed off with the media with it's the same questions week in, week out. And you see Conte's sort of, he doesn't look good. He doesn't look happy in the press conferences. And then there's the talk of, if we don't back him, he's going to go in the summer, etc. But
it's an agenda.
It's probably, it is an agenda for media. The media wanted him out. They can't wait for Conte to leave. They can't. But
it's news, it's stories, isn't it? It sells. Yeah. Conte's a big manager. So if you think and you misinterpret something by saying, Conte has said this and you make it he said that, it's all clicks, it's all news, it's all going to be interesting columns. And that's exactly what it is. You've got to see through the media now. And I've seen
that's the thing, though. This is it. With us as a fan base, like everyone just, if we don't get top four, it's not the end of the world. As long as Conte gets backed in the summer, gets the players in that he wants, which for us, in that team at the moment, you'd say our weakness is probably down the flanks, as it stands. You sort them out, and you're probably left centre back as well. I still think Davis is. We can easily upgrade on him, but then all of a sudden, if Conte is backed, then we just see what he's actually about and what the Spurs team are about, and then. Yeah, see where we go from there. I honestly think if we just had, like he says, just have a bit of patience and then see what happens in the summer. If he does get back, like we all hope, could be a turning point for Spurs. And you just don't know with Conte and his record.
Next season will be a game changer if he gets exactly what he wants. Yeah. He's got to be involved in the players that he wants as well. So it can't be just about the policy that I know we're going for a certain player, certain age, but profile, blah, blah, blah. But that's not going to work if you want to win. Conte said as much. If you want to win now, you have to get players for now. I understand all that. But you've also got to have a degree of building up. But I would imagine if you can get your academy right, that could be where you could build your younger players up for. I think we need to do what he says, get in a certain amount of experience. They don't need to be 30, 29, but they can be players like Bentancur, 24, 25, who've had a number of years experience of playing at high pressurized situations. Juventus is a highly pressurized environment. So you can see from these two players, Kulusevski and Bentancur, that they can play in that environment against a team like City, because playing at Juventus, you have to be able to perform every single week. And so that's what they've got to deal with, pressure, massively. Mari, the starting 11, I'll go from the top. I just want you to give me your thoughts on the starting 11. Obviously, it was the choices were made right. Lloris in goal. Romero, Dyer, Davis is the back three. Emerson as the right fullback or wingback. Sessegnon on the other side. He had a good game, by the way. I thought he played really well. Bentancur, Hojbjerg, the middle two. Again, I thought Hojbjerg come and prove the point. He's saying to everybody now, Yeah, you can talk about me and all the rest of it, but this is why I'm in the squad. And he did a bloody good game today because he did everything that was required, breaking play up, shithousery to the limit. I love it.
I love that.
Kulusevski, Kane, and Son making up the front three. What he, obviously apart from Kane, because he was standout. But who else was a really good performance from? Did you think? Apart, you can put the whole team in there, but any individual that you thought? Yeah, I thought they had a great game.
Yesterday I said the key player. You asked me who was going to be the key player. He didn't score, but he was essential. Sonny. Sonny had the first assist after a beautiful pass by Kane. And Sonny, for a second there, I was a little bit worried. I know there's been a big debate, Sonny's first touch whatsoever. And I thought he was going to shoot it, but he did the smart thing, passed it to Kulu, that beautiful assist, and then that wonderful assist to Kane for the second goal to put us 2-1 was simply amazing. So I thought Sonny was really awesome. If I had to give 3 stars, it was Kane, Kulu, and Sonny in the second slot, and then on the backline defense, I got to give it to Romero.
Maury, 3 stars. Come on, mate. Do you remember that pop group from the 80s? 5-star. Silk and steel.
This is on a roll today.
Steel performance.
He's rolling downhill. Today.
3 stars being like the 3 stars in the game, but no, more than 5. I mean, 10.
I'm sorry, my bad. I thought you meant.
I mean, like kind of like in hockey, to put the 3 stars in the game, so it's kind of like the 3 stars. But no, there's so many people we can name, but the standout Kane, Sonny, and I'll give someone in the back defense, Romero. I thought Romero played awesome. Yeah, he. I'm not even thinking about the penalty. He was unlucky there. Really tried to put his hand down, but he was amazing. He was amazing, and I'm really, really excited. My only thing is, man, those guys were really gassed. Wink's gonna have to step it up on Wednesday. If it's Tuesday or Wednesday against Burnley, he's gonna have to
step in anyway. Wink's stepping out. He's just gonna be stepping. He ain't going into his team. I don't want to see him.
Then Sam, no. Unless Skip comes back, that's my only worry. Because I don't want to drive these guys to the ground. Wink's gonna have to.
No, there's no Winks. Winks, no.
Subtract that. No Winks.
I'm not even smiling, Mari. I said no. That's not no.
If we get Skip back, then the rotation between Benny, Højbjerg, and Skip, I think is probably the right rotation between those 3.
The way we played today, the way we had to play today, because it was still 3-4-3 effectively. But what they did was they played 5 at the back, so it was a 5-4-1 most of the time. Yeah. And at times it was a 6-4, and there was one time when it was 7-3. I counted it, and I saw 7 across, and I was like, we can't maintain this for this length of time. But it had to be. They had to do it because this was a desire to actually win. Looking at the biggest thing today for me was Dyer being back in the center, because it allowed Romero to be on the right, which meant we had less mistakes from Sanchez. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't want to see him back in the team.
Oh, look what Romero did. I know we were still targeted on that side, but that's because of Emerson. You know what I mean? But again, I don't blame him, because every time we were attacking, both our wing backs were high up the pitch, which is exactly what you want to do in a counter attack. So if you lose it there, they're obviously going to be caught out of position. But as well as that, Emerson doesn't press as well. I'm not quite sure. There was times when he made some mistakes, but I'll give him his general game today was good. I have to give him more.
He was solid.
He was solid, yeah. He needs to improve. But when you look at Romero and Dyer, as if we get a left-sided centre-back and we get someone of equal quality, we can upgrade on Dyer as well. But what Dyer brings is that almost like just organising. I saw him get up halfway, get up, 18-yard box. Even at times Romero wasn't doing it, you could see Dyer turn back, come on. And then he was moving up. So when you haven't got the organisation, that's where you get everything just out of balance. And then you've got Romero like trying to cover for Sanchez, and then Sanchez being in midfield, and then it's all over the place. Dyer was probably the biggest influence to allow us to have the platform to do what we did today. That's my point today.
You see that in that first half as well, when I don't know what happened, but Lloris and Dyer had a get together, and they were both shouting at each other. Obviously, Lloris was telling
shows that they care.
Yeah, and Dyer was giving it back to him. So I don't know who they were referring to, but it was good to see them, because if Dyer wasn't there, we wouldn't have seen that. Yeah. Like you were saying, Sam, because he's there and he gives that leadership. If he weren't playing today, we would have got that from Lloris and Dyer, giving it a massive shout at each other, trying to roll at someone.
You know what it is when you've got players who can't play well under pressure, it makes everybody else a little bit scared, a little bit, well, I can't do that because maybe put that play. So that's what happens when you've got that back three we had against Wolves and against Southampton. Big thing is keeping Dyer fit and keeping this back three in place.
Yeah.
Mike, what's your thoughts about the team? Who was a standout apart from the obvious?
I was going to mention Dyer. I wouldn't say he was the man of the match. I wouldn't say he necessarily played better than Romero. I thought Romero, if you said the standout players, I would say Kane. Kane's, I would say Son. I thought he looked sharper today. He looked confident as well, which he didn't look confident in the last few games he's played. But today, he did. He just looked like he looked like he was not just sharper, but he looked like he was. It's almost like he was thinking, I could score today. I fancy my chances. And I put it down to him just feeling it's got to be part of that. It's got to be confidence. But Kane, Son, Romero were the three standouts. But the most important, the difference I saw today was the fact that Sanchez is nowhere in that team. And Dyer coming in was the most. I think that had the biggest impact on the team. Was Dyer
100%.
coming in because it cut, like you said, it did it 100%. Cut the mistakes out. Dyer looked comfortable on the ball. He looked assured if the ball's going in the air. I didn't think, Dyer's not going to win that head. Everything that came in the air, he won.
Just on top of that, Mike, look how many headers we had to deal with today.
Yeah,
and there wasn't many opportunities for them to score from. Now, had that been Romero and bloody what's his name in Sanchez, they would have targeted played. They would have scored from crosses. I'm convinced they would have scored from across today. And the fact is, they defended so resolutely. Even Emerson was to a point, getting himself in that box and winning headers.
Which he does. To be fair to Emerson, he gets a lot of criticism, Emerson. But when he's in the box, he does seem like 9 times out of 10 he will clear the ball if it's in the air. He can head it out. It's just he has that moments of lack of concentration. But then I put it down to sometimes is he's got Sanchez next to him, so he's like, well, if the ball's coming over and it looks like Dyer should win that, 9 times out of 10 you're going to back Dyer to probably, especially this season anyway, you're going to back him to win that head, and he's not going to. The mistakes he was making last season, it's like they've been cut out. He's not making those mistakes. But I felt Dyer was probably the biggest impact for us because, as I say, I think it gave the back line more confidence. I think Romero looked. I just felt like they all just had that connection. And like, oh yeah, Dyer's back, Romero's back. We kind of know what we're all doing, and you can rely on each other that you're not going to make the same sort of mistakes that potentially if you've got Sanchez. He's prone to them, and the other one I have to say was the fact that Winks wasn't in the side. I thought.
Don't say the name.
Do you know why? The only reason I'm not referring to their numbers is because I forgot what numbers they are. So,
Winks is number 8.
I say number 8. Yeah.
Sanchez is number 6. I ain't forgot them numbers. I'll never forget them numbers in my life.
But you look at you could argue Winks is better on the ball than Højbjerg, but Højbjerg, you just see they're just smarter decisions that were being made, and I don't know. As I say, I'm going back to the fact that Dyer, I thought, was the biggest impact on the team today was Dyer being back in.
Hold on a minute. It's Mika.
That's why he cost 150 million. Stick it up your ass, Pep. Stick it up your ass, Pep. That's why he's worth 150 million. Stick it up your fucking ass. Go on, Spurs!
Welcome to Sean in the house. You can obviously tell
That's
he's
why
had a
worth
couple.
150 million. Stick it up your ass, Pep. Stick it up your ass, Pep. That's
He's
why
been
he's
on-
worth 100 million.
He's been on the sauce this afternoon, hasn't he?
He's had a juice or two. He definitely has had a juice or two.
Hey, Sean.
Oh, Tottenham, we love you. We love you, Tottenham. We do.
Sean, I brought out the Malibu.
Oh,
God,
dear me.
typical Harry Kane goes and busts my coupon by scoring the bloody winner. I had it down for 2-2 yesterday or this morning.
Ah,
Sean, did you enjoy that game? Did you enjoy that game, Sean?
Do you know what? I saw the old Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, the Danish warrior.
yeah.
I saw Emerson play like a fullback. I saw Son and Kane, the bromance is back on. I saw our defence rugged, getting stuck in, keeping them out. I saw
Come
the
on,
City,
Sean. You want to roll,
boys
mate?
fucking
Carry on.
crying. It was brilliant.
Sean,
And at the end, all the team, the whole squad on the pitch, they were all happy. They win as a team, they lose as a team. What a brilliant day.
Can I just say something for the viewers at home? Drink alcohol in moderation. This is what happens when you drink excessively.
Never drink an empty head.
Or don't drink any like I don't. Or don't drink any.
Oh, well done.
Never drink on an empty head. Yeah, come on, you Spurs.
Nice one, mate. Nice one. Marlon,
Oh, fantastic.
We'll come back to you again, Sean, once you've got that smile off your face, but I don't think it's leaving because it's not leaving my one. Mari, not to go into any negative. Why is it just the fact that we've got one or two players back in this team that's made this much of a difference between the last 3 games? What? Because I know Conte's probably, his body language at times has said he looks a bit down. Today, he was on it from minute one. I could see him directing traffic, everything. He was even telling them when to pass back to the keeper, when to play. There was so much direction, which is a good thing and also not such a good thing because it means that he has to be doing this. I don't care. He had to do it today to get the result. We needed to get the result. Why can't we now? Oh, should I say? Do you think we can then take this into the next couple of away games? Because we've got Burnley on Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe it is, and then it's Leeds next week, Saturday early. What is it? What? Just give me something tangible that you think was a difference, the major difference today, apart from just the players.
I'm gonna put my profession, the counselor's hat on. When we played Brighton, I told people the game I was worried about was the game after Brighton, which was the Southampton game. The reason why I said this is because there is a disease mentality that we have these last couple of years. We get so complacent. We have this aura that sometimes, I don't know where we get it from, where we step on the field, we're like, we're better than this team. We're gonna win. We have not earned that right. We should always be hungry. We have not earned that right. I don't know where that comes from. And so that's why I want to take it a game at a time, because the game that is key is the next game, which is Burnley, not winning this game. Because we always fall into that trap. We go from a high and then we go to a low. And so that's why, this team, it would be Spurs to come out with the discipline that we talked about last night, the heart, the fight, and the discipline to be able to pull out a victory like this. We have to be consistent and have that. And it all starts with that mentality. Today, you saw the players, they were focused, hey, we're going to get this win. Like, you really saw it the first game of the year against Man City, where those guys were disciplined and they were like, look, we need to fight for this victory. And so I think that's the big problem that tends to hurt us. And Conte is working on it. It's a tough process. We gotta be patient, but that's the process that he's going to change the mentality of this team. And it's a painful process, but when we hit it, it's going to be all good. But right now, it's now the Burnley game. We have to be disciplined, and we must continue that fight. Every game, even if we're playing Norwich City, must be taken seriously. We cannot. We don't have that luxury to walk in there like, oh, this is a cakewalk. We're Tottenham.
100%. I think what you said there, and I think Spurs 1-1. Judge Joe said it as well. Man City was a free hit. You know, it was a free hit. We've got that result. Now the players can't just think, right, we beat Man City and then go into the Burnley game and not get a result there, because that would almost not so much undo everything, because I don't think we were looking to get 3 points today, but it certainly won't add to the confidence, because again, we'd have another away game to look to in Leeds. So they've just got, again, as you said, take it game by game, put the performances in. I think it's clear now, though, that we are going to need to have certain players playing for us 100%. To have any hope. And I think Conte's alluded to that. We get our strongest players out. He's back again. Illustrating back in. If we have our strongest 11 out, and certainly have 1 or 2, maybe 3 players to come in to make a difference. The impact players being Lucas, I think, Bergwijn being another one. Who else did you look? Well, depends then, because if Skip then comes back in, he might go back into the first team. You may have Højbjerg, potentially Bentancur on the bench. I'd be happy with that. Yeah. At least you know you've got players who are come in and have the desire.
The problem is, I've mentioned this, and I might be like a stuck record, but if any of the back three that played today are injured, we're back to Mr. Calamity filling in.
What about Rodon? Tell me about Rodon. What? Why isn't Rodon playing? Just give me. I don't know, but I'm just asking a question.
Mate, anyway, it's the $1 million question. It's like if he was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and you sort of asked a question about Rodon, you'd use up all your 4 lifelines and you'd still not answer that question. So I honestly, if I knew the answer to that, I'd probably be the Tottenham Hotspur manager. I honestly don't know why. I don't get it. I think he's a better centre back I think he's a better defender than Davis. I honestly think that. I think he'd be better. Well, he is better in the air than Davis. He's taller than Davis, so he should win any aerial battles. He should have a better chance of winning those aerial battles than Davis. Just on the, even if you just go on the basis of the height, you should give Rodon the sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Chance. He should have more chance of winning a ball in the air if he's taller than Davis. It's just what it is. But I don't know that. I honestly don't know. It's gonna be one of those life mysteries. Why didn't Rodon ever play for Spurs? No one's gonna be out. No one here, unless you're in the know, i.e., you're a coach or whatever at Tottenham. You are never gonna know why Rodon's not in that first team.
Yeah, and even today, when I thought, with 7, when he brought Sanchez on, I was thinking,
oh God,
why has he not brought Rodon in just for the headering ability? Because I just thought. But anyway, I've got to get that out of my head.
Just for the fact that he's going to make less mistakes than Sanchez. I know Sanchez made an important interception, but I honestly just don't want to see him anywhere near the first team. Today's proved that point. Dyer comes straight in, and we've got 3 points. I know you could argue it's a coincidence, but
let me come back to Sean. He's got that. I can see the smile in his eyes. I can see it in his eyes. I don't even need to see his mouth. I can see it in his eyes. Watching that from the nice, comfy pub that you was in, Sean, what did you think when we scored the goal initially and then we went in at half-time at 1-1? Was you a bit fearing the worst, or did you think that because of the way we played that it was still going to be a bit of a up in the air as to who was going to get the result today?
I turned to the guys in the pub and I said the next goal's key, and when it's scored and how it's scored and if there's a mistake or it's, because I was expecting it to be City, but we were in the game, I mean, all this, tic-a-taka, they didn't really put us, I would say that they were, with all the possession, they didn't really test us, I thought we were coping. I thought even when they found their little gaps in our defence, we seemed to smother them. I thought Romero was excellent today, and then big, hats off to Antonio. He's turned around to you. He's turned around to me. He's turned around to everyone and said, "Fuck you! I'm going to have the 3-4-3, whether you want it or not." Yeah,
But-
we all called 3-5-2, didn't we? Antonio says, "Nah, this is my system.
Sure.
I'm going to play these players." And
Sure.
Kulachevsky, what a deliverer of a pass! What
Sure.
a deliverer of a pass!
It weren't 3-4-3 today. It was 5. It was 5 at the back most of the time. However, we played off the counter attack so that both the wing backs got forward in attack. That was the difference. But because he played the 5, what it allowed them to do was to get out to the wide players. What City do all the time is they have their wide players on the bloody chalk on the touchline. So when you play 4, it makes it harder to get out. Because we played 5, it's a little bit less space, and I think that was key. Even down that left-hand side or our right-hand side, they were getting down it. Like you said,
Yeah, but what were they doing with it?
Exactly. They only had 5 shots on target to our 6. That shows that we had a degree of control in the way that we were playing because we had a plan.
And we stuck to it.
We had a plan, exactly. We had a plan.
We had a plan, and this is what we've not had under the previous manager and the one before that. I mean, I was on one screen there was us, and on the other screen there was Roma, and I was looking over, and Roma were 2-0 down. And I thought, fucking Mourinho, and then I looked up, we were 1-0 up, and I said, thank God for Conte.
I'm going to do it to us, lads. I'm going to do this to us. I'm sorry to do it, but I'm going to show it. I'm going to show, and it's always. I'm a Spurs fan. I'm a fan. I'm going to be doing the fan thing now. Okay, so we're now into 7th place.
Arsenal must be kicking themselves, thinking they were going to get 3 points ahead of us today.
Exactly. They thought they were going to be 6 points ahead of us.
6 points, yeah.
So we've played 23 games now, the same as Arsenal. We're on 39, they're on 42. West Ham having played 3 more games than us, 26 games played, 42 points. Manchester United having played 25 on 43. You know what's coming next, don't you? You know what's coming next. See, what do you think our top 4 chances are looking like now? Oh, look who's popped up in the chat.
I know. I was just about to say. That. Have you seen who's on the chat? Yeah.
Here he is.
Let me just hold that thought there. Let's just get to one of these chats here. He's saying, "Oi, Mike."
He was walking up the high road last week. What was he doing at the big one?
Give it the large,
yeah. Give it the large. Oh, yeah.
It's not for everyone, is it, mate? Yeah, get it up, yeah.
So, mentioning nothing about the game, he's saying he's worried about you, Mike. Not mentioning anything about the game.
I just had to. I did say to him, it took me a couple of weeks to troll through the tripe that he was sending me. So now I've got through it. It's just coincidence that we beat Man City, and I'm smiling. I'm smiling, Gunner King. And what?
Gunner
King. What? Talk to us about the game today. What did you think of the Spurs performance?
Sorry. Don't forget as well, though. Just one thing: we beat Man City 3-2. Arsenal played for 15 minutes, well against them, and lost, didn't they?
And they thought that was one of their best performances of the season.
That was good.
They were celebrating like they won the World Cup.
Yeah. How many points did you get against that Man City, Gunner King? How many points have you got?
No, they played well for 15 minutes.
Gunner King. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's all gone quiet. All gone quiet.
See, now look at this. Now they're reverting back. Oh, see, wasn't it? How many times have you had your pants pulled down? You bloody wearing your pants around your ankles most of the season, so don't talk to me.
They've abandoned them this year, haven't they?
Come on, please.
They forget they lose to the likes of Brentford, don't they? First game of the season, they got battered by Brentford. I mean, it's all.
Yeah. See you later,
taking it, but.
See you on TikTok. See you on TikTok. Put a TikTok up there. Put the old whatever you're going to do on TikTok today. Yeah, walk down the high road now. See you walk down the high road now. Anyway, let's get on with it. More professional. I'm going to get back to Zen moment again. Get back into it again. Okay, Mari, what do you want to see from the guys for the next performance? Do you want to see exactly the same way that they play today, or is it going to have to be a different approach? Because obviously it's Burnley. Burnley, not a City. Yeah. What do you want to see from the guys going into the Burnley game?
Yeah, it's going to definitely be different because, Burnley is, they're going to play a lot of people at the back. They're not going to have possession. And so we're going to have to, once again, I like to call it surgery. We're going to have to be clinical in finding space in trying to score against that defense. So I want to see the same starting lineup. If Reguilon's coming back, because I know he has COVID. I don't know if he's going to be back. Other than Reggie coming back in, you definitely want to see formation-wise, it's going to be a 3-4-3. What I noticed, because one of the guys put a question about did we play the 3-4-3 or the 3-5-2? It was 3-4-3. But what I liked about Kulu is that he knew the times to come in the middle. So it was almost like a hybrid. He was on the flanks, he was in the middle. And so that's what makes it almost make it like a 2-1 in a way. And so I think that would be good against a team like Burnley. That creativity. So I just want to see that fight. I do not want to see us be complacent at all. Take Burnley as serious as Man City. If we could do that in every game, we should be good. I'm not going to answer a question about top 4 because I want to listen.
Yeah, good point.
Game by game. We'll take it game by game. But like I said, when we play teams that hunker down, like Burnley, we have to be like a surgeon. We got to be clinical. The passing has to be exceptional, and we got to take our chances because they're looking to counter us. They're not going to be City, play with possession or play with a high line. So that's what I'm looking for. I still don't know if it's Tuesday or Wednesday we play Burnley.
I'm sure it's Wednesday. I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, I thought it was Tuesday, but it was Wednesday.
Yeah, no, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know where to go. Who wants to go next? I'm that happy. Like it's like you say what you want. You say what you want now. Hey, Mike, go on. What? Like you said, I think the game on is as Mari's pointed out. We have to take it game by game because we're on a high. I guess the players will be on a high. But for me, this now shows right. There's no excuses for performances. You can accept players being out because they're injured. You can accept players being out because they're suspended. I think we all know that we have to have key players in defence, but they can still make this effort. I think what happens is with our team, when certain players don't play, the confidence is almost like before we even start is drained out of them. And if we don't start a game well, it then just kind of goes through our performance. What we have proved when we have the right players on the pitch, it doesn't matter if we go behind or a team comes back, we've still got that fight. And that's the Antonio Conte fight. He's going to expect this now from this moment to the rest of the season. Is it just going to be a game-by-game scenario for you?
Okay. I agree with Mari. It has to be game by game. We've been here too many times, haven't we, whereby everything's sort of looking good, and then we jump ahead of ourselves, and then we get brought back down to earth. Let's be honest. But it has to be. What have we got left now? 9 games to the end of the season, is it? Or is it?
No, we've got a lot of games left. We've got a lot of games left. We've got 15 games left.
Oh, we still got 15. Oh, blimey, I thought it was less than that. Yeah, it has to be game by game for me. I think we've got a few games coming up. 2 games on the trot? Burnley and Leeds, who have both games are away from home, aren't they? And both teams are fighting for their lives. They're not going to be easy games. I'd rather play one of the teams further up the table than those two, because they're going to be putting in the same effort levels as probably what you saw from us today. So I think what we need is, it's obvious, isn't it? We need to keep the players all fit now. I know Reggie's had COVID, which I think some of the comments like from Gunnar King, he's asked how many times Reggie had COVID. It's got to be at least 2 or 3 times, isn't it?
He's got every strain since the first one.
He's had every strain of COVID for a fact.
But
Alpha, Delta, you name it.
But
I just want to.
I think he just needs to. We need a consistent team. Like, I know he changed it up. Was it? I can't remember if it was against Wolves or Southampton. He changed it up in a couple of spots, and I think he had no choice but to change up today. What with Session filling in, Højbjerg coming in for Winks, I think that was a given, and obviously Dyer coming in for Sanchez. He had no choice but to make those decisions. But what I would like to see now is just, if he can, keep that same lineup going into that midweek game, just to get that momentum of getting points on the board. And then if you have to change it up at the weekend, make the 1 or 2 changes that you have to. But I think for us, the key thing for us now is just momentum. We got to build on this win and get momentum going into the last 15 games. I saw on your slide there, we've got 3 games over West Ham. Is it 2 over Man United?
Yeah, so we've got 2 games in hand over Man United. As I said, the points difference between us and Man U is now 4 points, and we played 2 games less than them. I think they play tomorrow, don't they?
Yeah. I think the two. I think Kulu and Benny. I think they're going to be important to us for the rest of the season.
100%.
I think different, like Kudu coming in today. I think what he has that Moura hasn't got is he's got a football brain on his shoulders. He's got intelligence, and the quality just, I don't know, the quality just seems a little bit better than what we get from Moura. I think Moura coming off the bench as an impact player is probably I think that's what you're going to see from now on. I think if Kudu's fit and if he's fit and available, I think you'll find that he probably starts more games, or rest of the games, as many games as he can now for the rest of the season. Same as Benny. He gave the ball away a few times today, but I mean, when you put it into context, I can forgive him for that.
Let me start
against.
I think Bentancur had got a good lesson today that you can't dally on the ball. You can't dally on the ball. And he got dispossessed a few times particularly in the second half.
Well, I can forgive him for that, because what he does,
he's learning. It's a learning curve.
Yeah, it's a learning curve, isn't it? And
giving the ball away is what we've done quite consistently, but getting the ball back when he does make a mistake is what I saw what you're doing.
You saw that run by De Bruyne, and Bentancur came from behind and snatched it from him. You don't ever see that with De Bruyne. That was amazing. Bentancur.
Let me just ask a quick question. Would you continue now with Sessegnon, or does Reggie come back in? Because I thought that Sessegnon played well today, because he didn't have anything like as much pressure as they did on the other side, but they swapped, because Sterling started on his side and then they put Sterling on. And even Foden on that right. I don't remember Foden skinning him too many times, getting the ball down and breaking past him. So he must have played quite solid. What's your thoughts about Sessegnon over Reguilon now?
I'd said the other day, didn't I? Reguilon for me, going forward, he gets in the right places, but his finishing is just not right. Defensively, he's not as good as everyone makes him out to be. And I think if Cess is given a proper run in the team with Dyer, Romero playing as a central 2 unit, I think with what they can advise and guide him, I think he can develop to be a better left back than Reguilon. And if we give him, because we know what he can do when he goes forward, he can finish as well, which is what he's got, something that hasn't got Reguilon. Defensively, still a little bit tipsy-turvy, but
tipsy-turvy.
I like that one. Just make up words as we go along. Absolutely. That's great.
That's me. I'm the tipsy one.
I like that one too.
What if he had a good game today? So why would you change it? Why just because Reggie's had another bout?
Because Session's prone to injury, isn't he? You've got to manage him.
But if he's fit and he's had a good game today, then I think they take him off as well. They did, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they took him off for a reason. Just to probably rest him. So I'd start with him on Wednesday. I wouldn't let Reguilon come straight back into the team, because this team has won a game today. They've put in a shift. They've put in a performance. Why change it?
He ain't going to be able to play anyway, because I don't think he's going to. Well, it depends when you caught COVID, doesn't it? But he might not even be able to play anyway because of that. But
the thing is, I would say about the game on Wednesday that would be different is I would expect us to have more possession than we did today. And because of that, I'd expect us to be maybe on the front foot a little bit more, which means it's a different game. You're on the back foot against City most of the time, as proved today when we had 7-3 at times. You know what I mean? So again, it's a different way he's going to have to approach the game. He's going to be asked to probably go a lot forward a lot more and be part of the link-up play as well. So it's a different game. I would want to see him given a run of games now because I've seen enough of Reggie to know what he's got. I haven't seen enough of Session to know what he's got for us. So I want to see that if we can.
And don't forget, Burnley had a blinding result today at Brighton. They battered Brighton, so it's not going to be an easy game going to Turf Moor on Wednesday night. And like Maury said, and Mike, you said, one game at a time. And Spurs cannot let the guard down. They have to come out.
I don't think Spurs. It's a different game, though, isn't it? And I think the better performances and the better results we've got are when we're on the back foot. It's the teams the better teams play that higher line. Like Liverpool played a higher line against us, but we should have battered them. You could argue we should have got 5 or 6 goals earlier in the season against them. Man City, they like to play that high line, which weirdly it does suit us in an attacking sense because Kane 9 times out of 10 he will if the ball's played into him and he's hitting it first time 9 times out of 10 he's going to slot that ball through the back line for some to run onto. And to be fair, there was a few instances where Kulu he found Kulu and he was running on, but I mean it didn't come to anything. But Burnley's going to be a different game. They're not going to be playing the high line. They're going to be, again, you see it with Workhorse. They're going to play the ball up to him. He's going to try and hold it and bring players into play and stuff. So it's going to be a different type of game, I feel, which might suit Dyer better than obviously. Well, I think it would suit any defender if you've got a player or a team that are playing to a target man, who's then trying to hold it up, bringing others into play, rather than someone like a front three of the likes of Liverpool's or Man City's. They're just you don't want that as a back line, do you? Because they're just going to give you a headache for 90 minutes. But I think it's going to be a different. Yeah, it's going to be a different game.
Different game.
I was sort of following Sky Sports Saturday thing, and Vickers, they say pulled up after his goal. Did he finish the match?
Who?
Vickers, the Burnley striker.
I think he did. I think so.
You think so? Yeah. I was thinking that maybe if he's done it, if he's done his legs,
I think he'll finish it.
I was looking for a silver lining for Wednesday night.
See, Conte's put a quote out. One win is not enough. Don't forget, we are coming out of 3 losses. We can improve a lot. For me, this group of players is one of the best that I have worked with in my career. We have a lot of work to do, but I am not scared to work.
I like his honesty because that's just
he's just honest, isn't it? He's just, and that's
you look at his previous there today and he said, "I've got a 1% chance of winning, and I'll take that 1%."
If you look at what he says in his previous in all his previous presses, he's just being honest. He's not saying anything. He's not criticising. He's just saying it how it is. And all the previous managers that we've had of recent times, you probably haven't found that level of honesty with them. But Conte, he's not saying anything. He's not criticising the board. He's not criticising Levy. He's just literally just saying it how it is. This is what it is. Like, and then you've got the media just turning it into what they want. But Gunnar King made a point about the penalty, and I mentioned this earlier. I honestly do think that penalty was harsh.
Nah,
what's he supposed to do? Right, he's got no control over his hand. So what's he going to do?
With the letter of the law, with the way that the law's written, it's stupid because there's no way you can dive like that without your body being out of shape. That's the whole reason why you've dived. Because if you could dive and not put your arms out of shape, you wouldn't be doing that, would you? So the fact is, once it hits his hand, because his hand's up there, it's always going to be a penalty.
But his hand's going down.
But that's what I'm saying. It's stupid.
Yeah, but you could interpret that saying that he was pushing the ball away.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's
the rules are that it's where his hand is on a natural position. It doesn't make sense to me.
I wasn't too upset that with the decision in the end, but
no.
But if you look, I can't remember. There was it against Arsenal or was it Arsenal themselves? The ball came over to one of the players. He's hit. I can't remember if it hit his hand first and then his foot, and it's gone over, and then they've scored from it. Or
shoulder.
It hit his hand. It definitely hit his hand, and he clipped it over the back post. But
as his comment says
why
here,
is that not a foul? Why is that not a foul? Yet Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just not consistent.
It's the rules of the law, isn't it?
It's the
But
rules.
it's not consistent though.
What Ed
Yeah.
Wilson's saying here, accidental or not, he was blocking across with his hand.
Mhm.
Even in the old
Exactly.
days, that would have been given as a penalty. So we can look at him trying to the offside as well. We could say it was tight, but it was offside. That again, because of where his hand was. Had his hand been here, they couldn't have given it. But his hand was here, so there wasn't much choice. Mari, what was Conte's performance out of 10 today? Would you give him?
On Conte?
Yeah.
I would say I'm buzzing. I would say a 9. To be nice, I would say I would definitely say he got it right today. We knew we had a counter, and he listened to us. He listened to us last night. He said Kulu or Bergwijn needed to start instead of Lucas. I could take either one, and I would say Kulu, and he put him in. And so I give him a 9. I trust Conte at all times. It's just, I could question a little thing like Sanchez coming in. I was kind of like
Doherty coming as well. That was another thing. I was like, oh my God, what's going on here?
Did he do anything
I don't
wrong,
want to
Sam?
see him.
No,
Did
he
Doherty
didn't.
do anything wrong?
But it's the palpitations it sent through my heart
Did
because
Sanchez do anything wrong?
No.
It was
Thank God they didn't have enough time to do anything.
It's just
Nah, come on.
but
Sean,
I trust Conte.
yeah.
They didn't bring my boy Winks on. That's why he's only getting 8.
Don't say Wicks. Don't say Wicks.
Don't say that. Don't say that name anymore. I'm going to come around to all of you.
I
We
can
start with
say
you.
Winks.
Yeah.
I want some of that sauce. I'm going to get some of that sauce as well. I'm going to start around, come around the table, and all of it. I'm going to start with you, Sean. Final thoughts on the game today. Yeah, start with you, Mr. Sean A.
I mean, do you know, that's the sort of game that we're not an entitled club. We're not, we're not like Man United or Liverpool who think that everything should just be handed to them, or Man City as they've become with all their money. But we live for days like that. That's why I'm proud to be a Spurs fan, because we can pull performances like that out of places that we shouldn't be going to. I'm keeping it clean at the end anyway. My potty mouth is too much. But yeah, fantastic. A good lesson for Rodrigo today. Don't mess about with the ball when no shimmy shammy when you're playing Manchester City. Kulu, what a sweet left foot he's got. And Harry Kane, you are worth 190 million. Stick it up your backside, Pep. Come on, you Spurs.
I'm going to let Sid do this bit of the singing. Luca 14 saying, all right, mate, yeah, we won, and it didn't matter. It don't matter. I think we should sing the song. It happened again. It happened again. Man City. It happened again. Oh, you know what I mean? We did a double over here. Come on now. You know what I mean? Anyway, Sid, final thoughts on the game today.
Right. So, final thoughts. You know what? Just for all the Man City fans, one final song before I sing off. Can't go breaking my heart. I couldn't if I tried. But anyway, no, solid performance. Going back to one thing you asked Maury about marks out of 10 for Conte. Can I say I'm going to give him 1%? 1%.
Aye.
And also, there's a video circulating on Twitter. I don't know if you've seen it, but all the conspiracy theorists out there are going to see it. You know, all this agenda against Spurs, right?
Yeah.
If you look closely when Conte goes mental, when Harry Kane scored the winner, look at the fourth official very, very closely and his reaction to the goal. That says it all.
Did he celebrate?
He just looked up and he just put his head down and turned away. So that says it all. So have a look. At it, because there's already conspiracy theories saying this is, and you're telling us that they haven't got an agenda against Spurs.
7 minutes of added time, and it became 8-9 minutes.
9.
What's going on here?
Exactly. And I'm going to sign off with, and I'm going to sign off finally with Paul Merson. If you're watching this, you know what you can go and do. Go down that touchline and keep snorting away.
Ooh, Paul Merson. As I said, not everybody's views on Paxton Road are the same as Sid's. Anyway,
It pissed me off, he did.
I'm going to come to Mike, Hotspur Hustler, before we end with Mari. Final thoughts on the game today, Hotspur Hustler?
Final thoughts. I think it's just the fact that we probably one of the hardest places to go. That and Liverpool, I would say, are probably the hardest two places to go in the league because of who they are, where they are, etc. We went there.
Chelsea as well. Don't forget Stamford Bridge.
Chelsea. Yeah.
No, we don't think we don't even look at Chelsea. We don't think there's a football brand there.
But to go to Man City, not just to score 3 goals, but to get 3 points. That was it's. I'm hoping it will be something that we can build upon. This result has to be something we've built upon. Otherwise, winning the day was pointless. If we don't get a positive result against Burnley and Leeds in the next 2 games, then this game is just like, well, you've won against Man City, but what does it mean? It's meant nothing if you don't go to Burnley and to Leeds, which is our next 2 games, and get 3 points from each of those. So, like Mari says, I'm very much the advocate of take each game as it comes. Hopefully, this will put a lot of confidence back into the side. As I've mentioned probably a couple of times throughout the stream, I'm glad Dyer's back. I think there is that defensive solidarity within the back line, that the mistakes have been cut out. And hopefully, like, we see more of Kulu and Benny doing what they've been doing so far since they've come in. Just take the positives from this game and take it into the next game against Burnley. Get the 3 points, then do the same. If we get the 3 points against Burnley, take it into Leeds game and just carry on building game by game. Forget about the top 4 because there's too many ifs and buts. Just do what we can do.
You just need to reset after each game and say,
we just got to
start again. 3 points. That's our objective.
We just got to control what we can in our own sort of destiny as such. Like, we're in control of our own destiny. So just sort of
let me add some more good. Sorry, I just want to say, let me add some more good juices to these the sources that we've got at the moment. So Manchester City played 26 games and conceded. This is after today. And conceded only 17. That means in 2 games they've conceded 4 against us, and in the other 24 games that they played, they've only conceded 13 goals. So that shows you the level of what we've done. They're the best defense in the league for a reason, but we've gone to their place and scored 3 against them, and obviously the 1-0 that we had against them earlier in the season. That's 4 goals we scored of 17. That's got to be something to take away. And this is what I'd be looking at. Things like that. Those sort of statistics are things that I would use as motivation. Nobody else goes to the Emirates. Even Liverpool play well against them, but they don't go there and score that many goals all the time. So it's something that you can build on. As Conte, use all these things as motivational factors for the players to say, look, this is what you can do when you play well. Do you know what I'm saying? This is all I want you to do now. As you said, reset after every single game. That's out the window. It's gone. You can't affect that now. We can affect what's in front of us. Next game. Until the end of the season, let's see where we are. Let's see what we've won, if anything. So I'm excited because of that, but because I'm now seeing that we can do it. If we'd have come away today having been knocked off 5-0, I think we'd have all been like, that's it for the season. But now we still got the old Tottenham Hotspur hope. It's what kills us, but it's good to be feeling the things that we're feeling today. Mari, take us out. What's your final thoughts on the game today?
Final thoughts. I was looking for this team to fight and at least carry some discipline into the next game. They did it. Really proud of the team. They're representing the badge. And like everybody's been saying, and I'll say it again, let's take that because it's going to be a street fight against Burnley. It's going at their building. It's going to be a fight, and we have to carry on that positive momentum of fighting and disciplined play to pull out a 1-0 victory, 2-0 victory. Because like I said, it's going to be a street fight. The patience, in breaking down that team, breaking down that defense. So I want to see that carry over from today. The guys can hold their heads high today. And the one thing we loved this last season, the telepathic play of Sonny and Kane. Whew, this was the best I've seen them to today. And yeah, Kulu to the mix. You know, getting excited.
Stop now. This is it. This is where I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
I'm going on what Hotspur says. Hustler and Sean said, reset. I've reset now. Reset. It's gone.
One game at a time. And hello, SUBSRCRIBE.
Bob Spur. Yo, Bob Spur, welcome.
Love you, brother. We can't wait to see you back on the streams again.
That's why it's worth 150 million, Bob Spur.
100%.
You want him? Pay us the money. Otherwise, stick it in your arse.
This is what football. This is why we love football. What I will say is a big respect to Gunner King for being on the stream. I appreciate we've got a banter going on. We got banter, but your other mates, Canners and Gumser and Mr. Silver Fox, where are they? Where are you? They're not nowhere to be seen.
They ain't feeling it, are they?
They're not feeling it today. They wanted to come on had we lost, but they're not on here now. Anyway, big up to Bob Spur. He's back in the house. Well done.
Yeah.
I'm going to read a couple of these last comments out. Again, just Bob Spur TV. How are you, Bob Spur? Everybody's wishing you the best. Make sure you're getting better. Hopefully, you'll be back on stream soon. Gunner King, at least the title race is getting interesting again. But if you want top 4 from us or United, you will have to prize it from our cold, dead hands. Yeah, we're going to give it a good go. I'll tell you that much. We're going to give it a good go. Right. Okay. Make sure you like and subscribe to Paxton Road TV. Look out for Judge Jody, which I believe is going to be Sunday this week. I'm not sure who she's doing that with, but it doesn't really matter because we won, so it shouldn't be no crimes committed this week. Not even Sid will be part of that crime syndicate. He will be.
Hey.
Yeah, stop it.
My boy is innocent.
Yeah.
He wasn't innocent last week. He sold 2 tickets. He sold 2 tickets to people and sent them to the Wolves game. That's a crime in itself.
You're like the media. You see, you're like the media.
That's right.
And Sky Sports, yeah.
Oh, is it Daily Mail, Sam?
Stop giving Daniel Levy some money. Yeah, are you working for the Daily Mail? Yeah, sure. Tell him.
Daily Mail, Sam. Wowzers. Getting abuse. Don't need to get abuse. There's no need for that.
You can get that at home.
Jesus Christ. There's absolutely no need. For free, exactly.
Hey boys, we've had a great day. We've had a very good day.
We have to take
it. Listen, it's over at midnight, and we re-go again on Wednesday.
Listen. When you're a Spurs fan, and we've had the 3 games that we've had, obviously take Chelsea apart. The disappointment was just, you know what happens? It gets a bit toxic in the fan base. It's days like today, which just brings everybody back together, and that's all we need to do is understand we're going to have ups and downs. But when you have the ups, take them as being the ups and celebrate them. I don't care. I'm going to be celebrating long into the night.
And one other thing we've learned today, Tottenham don't get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham don't get battered everywhere they go.
Everywhere they go. Do you know what? Big up to our fans. The looks on their faces when it was all limbs when Harry scored the winner. I would have given £1 million to be amongst that.
And I've been to the Etihad, and it's like. It is because they don't really sing that much. No. And the away fans always out-sing them. Absolutely. And today was one of them.
Big up to our fans. They were brilliant.
The hurricane came to Etihad.
Mari, where can the viewers find you? Tell them where they can find you. I'm going to even put you on big screen as well.
Yep. We shortened the name, Mari Spurs Channel. That's where they can find me. Every Wednesday we have the Spurs Love Lounge, which is going to be buzzing and lit, especially if we beat Burnley on Wednesday. Would be great. Tomorrow we have our 4th episode of Spurs Tavern, and we have a special episode tomorrow night at 8. We have a representative. Her name is Eve. She's from Her Game Too, and so we're going to talk about women in football and in media on the field and social media. We're going to definitely bring up the issue about sexist abuse that can sometimes be found at the stadium and also social media. And so we have some of the women streamers who are also going to come on, like Chris is going to co-host. And so it's going to really be a informative show, a show about awareness. And also her game 2 is signed up with a lot of clubs. Leeds was one, and I know Curse sent some information to Spurs. And so we definitely want to promote inclusion for everybody in this game we love. And like I said yesterday to Sam, Paxton Road has been a leader in having a woman's opinion on the game. You know, having Jody, who's going to have a show tomorrow, Kym, and is it
Christina Zandez?
Christina Zendes.
Happy birthday, Christina.
Yeah, I saw it was her birthday. And so, no, you guys have been excellent in promoting the women's game and their opinion. And
Can't also forget Tanya. We've had Tanya Leone on the show quite a few times as well. So again,
she loves it.
Football's for everyone, as I said yesterday. Football is for everyone.
So check out the show tomorrow night at 8. So should be a good show.
Fabulous. Make sure you
That's
go.
8 o'clock our time, Murray. Yeah.
8 o'clock your time. Yeah.
Cool.
I go UK time most of the time, so 8 o'clock UK time.
Make sure you're putting that on Twitter. So
definitely.
I can remind myself.
Go across to Murray's channel and subscribe to the channel right this moment. And make sure you hit the like button on this channel as well. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all those who have commented today. So many people to go through. There's so many names, but again, we can't go for everybody. But as you know, it's time to go. It's time to go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much, Sean. Thank you very much, Sid. And of course, to Mari as well. I'm just trying to find the buttons to now press to get off because it's time to go. It's time to go.
You'll be here for an hour.
Come on,
well done, gentlemen. It's good. It's good. I say happy days are back. Happier day is back. We've had a good day, so we've got to
Happy
celebrate.
day, yeah.
But one game at a time. I think that's the way it's going to have to go now from now on. So, guys, thanks again. And we're out. Come on, you Spurs.